Welcome back to channel. We are diving into one of the most collected and widely recognized coins in American numismatic history, the United States Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 25-cent coin, but in the world of rare coin collecting, certain Washington quarters have shocked collectors by selling for hundreds, thousands, and even tens of thousands of dollars at major auctions. The value of these coins depends heavily on mint mark, condition, errors, and rarity. In this video, we will explore the most valuable Washington quarters, why they are so special, and how they have become hidden treasures in the coin market. So let's get started. First up, the 1966 Washington quarter without a mint mark has become a fascinating coin for collectors across the world. While millions of these quarters were produced, certain examples in very fine condition have gained strong attention because of their historical importance, collector demand, and surprising auction prices. In today's video, we are taking a deep dive into the story behind the 1966 Washington quarter, exploring its unique features, rarity, and the impressive dollar values some of these coins can achieve in today's market. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the quarter quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. By the mid-1960s, the United States faced a major coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins because the value of silver was rising rapidly. To solve the crisis, the U.S. Mint removed silver from quarters beginning in 1965 and replaced it with a copper-nickel clad composition. At the same time, mint marks were temporarily removed from coins between 1965 and 1967 to discourage collectors from saving freshly minted pieces. That is why the 1966 Washington quarter carries no mint mark at all. Even though the coin was struck at different mint facilities, the government intentionally removed mint marks during this period. Today, this unusual chapter in American coin history makes the 1966 quarter especially interesting for collectors. The obverse side of the 1966 Washington quarter displays the classic portrait of George Washington facing left. Above his portrait is the word Liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" appears near the left side of the coin. The date 1966 is positioned below Washington's neck. The reverse side features a majestic bald eagle with spread wings perched on a bundle of arrows, representing military strength, while olive branches below symbolize peace. Around the rim are the inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, along with the denomination quarter dollar. One of the most important features of this coin is its copper-nickel clad composition. Unlike earlier silver quarters, the 1966 version has a layered structure with copper inside and nickel on the outside. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Collectors also search carefully for rare minting errors on 1966 quarters. Some coins may feature doubled lettering, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. These unusual errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin and attract intense interest during auctions. Even coins in very fine condition can become highly collectible if they display eye-catching errors or attractive natural toning. Although over 800 million 1966 Washington quarters were produced, finding attractive examples in very fine condition or better is not always easy. Most of these coins circulated heavily during the 1960s and 1970s, meaning many became worn, scratched, or damaged over time. Collectors are especially interested in coins that still retain strong details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. In very fine condition, the design elements remain clear, making the coin much more desirable than heavily worn examples. Demand also increases because the no mint mark years represent a unique and short-lived period in U.S. coin production history. Many collectors aim to complete full Washington quarter sets, and the 1966 issue is an essential part of that collection. Auction excitement becomes even greater when rare varieties or mint errors appear. Some unusual 1966 quarters with dramatic striking mistakes have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and condition. These stories continue to fuel collector interest and keep the coin popular in the rare coin market. The value of a standard 1966 Washington quarter in very fine condition is usually modest, often ranging between $1 and $8 depending on overall quality and eye appeal. However, coins with sharper details, minimal marks, or beautiful toning can command higher prices. Examples in extremely fine or about uncirculated condition may sell for $466,000, while certified mint state examples graded by professional grading services can reach hundreds of dollars. The real treasures are rare error coins. A 1966 quarter with strong doubling, off-center strikes, or major minting mistakes can sell for several $100s at auction. In some cases, exceptionally rare error examples have achieved auction prices exceeding $1,000 when competitive collectors bid aggressively. Because coin collecting remains popular worldwide, market values continue to fluctuate based on rarity, grading, and collector demand. This keeps the 1966 Washington quarter exciting for both experienced numismatists and beginners searching through everyday change. If you own a 1966 Washington quarter, always inspect it carefully under bright light or magnification. Look closely for unusual details, minting errors, and strong remaining design features. Coins with fewer scratches and cleaner surfaces are generally more valuable. Avoid cleaning your coin, even if it appears dirty or tarnished. Cleaning can damage the original surface and reduce collector value significantly. Many collectors actually prefer natural aging and toning because it confirms authenticity. Proper storage is also important. Keep valuable quarters inside coin holders or protective capsules to prevent additional wear and environmental damage. Humidity and improper handling can quickly reduce a coin's condition. For potentially valuable coins, professional grading can make a major difference. Certified coins often sell for higher prices because buyers trust the official evaluation of authenticity and condition. Staying updated on auction trends and recent sales can also help collectors understand the true market value of their coins. The 1966 Washington quarter without a mint mark may look ordinary at first glance, but its historical significance, unique production era, and growing collector demand make it an exciting coin in the world of numismatics. While many examples remain common, coins in very fine condition with attractive details or rare minting errors can carry surprisingly high auction values. From its connection to America's coin shortage crisis to its place in modern collector markets, the 1966 quarter continues to fascinate coin enthusiasts everywhere. So before you spend that old quarter sitting in your drawer, take a closer look. You might be holding a valuable piece of American history worth far more than 25 cents. Next up, the 1968 Washington quarter without a mint mark. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary, just another 25-cent coin from circulation. But in the world of coin collecting, even common coins can carry hidden interest depending on their condition, strike quality, and collector demand. In this video, we take a closer look at the 1968 Washington quarter in very fine condition, exploring its history, features, market value, and whether it truly holds any rare or auction-level significance. The Washington quarter has been one of the most widely recognized coins in American circulation since its introduction in 1932. It was created to honor George Washington and quickly became a staple of everyday currency in the United States. By 1968, the United States Mint was firmly in the clad coinage era. Just a few years earlier, in 1965, silver was removed from circulating quarters due to rising silver prices and national coin shortages. The 1968 quarter belongs fully to this copper-nickel clad generation, meaning it contains no silver content at all. Another important detail is the mint mark system. In 1968, coins struck at Philadelphia were produced without a mint mark, while Denver coins carried a D and San Francisco coins carried an S, mostly for proof issues. So when you see a 1968 quarter with no mint mark, it simply means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, not that it is automatically rare. The design of the 1968 Washington quarter remains consistent with the classic Washington series. On the front side, you see the well-known portrait of George Washington facing left, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" are clearly displayed, along with the year 1968. On the reverse, the coin features a powerful bald eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and an olive branch. This symbolizes both military strength and peace. Surrounding the eagle are the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, along with the denomination quarter dollar. In very fine condition, the coin still retains moderate detail. You can usually see clear outlines in Washington's hair and strong definition in the eagle's feathers, although some high points of the design will show wear from circulation. Despite what many beginners assume, the 1968 Washington Quarter is not considered rare in terms of mintage. Millions were produced for everyday circulation, and most examples still exist today. However, collector interest does not always depend on rarity alone, it also depends on condition and special characteristics. Coins in very fine condition are fairly common, but they represent a midpoint where detail is still visible while circulation wear is clearly present. Because so many of these coins were heavily used in commerce, finding sharply struck, well-preserved examples can still attract collector attention. True collector demand for the 1968 quarter usually comes from higher-grade examples, such as mint state coins, or from rare mint errors like doubled dies or off-center strikes. These varieties can transform a common coin into something far more desirable in the numismatic market. In today's coin market, a standard 1968 Washington quarter in very fine condition typically holds a modest value. Most examples are worth around face value to slightly above, often ranging from $399,000 depending on eye appeal and demand. However, coins in higher grades can see a noticeable jump. Extremely fine or about uncirculated examples may reach a few dollars to around $10 or more. When professionally graded mint state coins enter the picture, especially those with sharp strikes and clean surfaces, values can rise significantly, sometimes reaching $20 to $100 or more at auction. The real auction excitement comes from error coins or exceptionally high-grade specimens. While rare for this date, top-graded examples certified by major grading services can attract competitive bidding, especially among registry collectors who aim to complete high-quality sets. If you are collecting 1968 Washington quarters, the most important step is learning how to properly evaluate condition. Look closely at Washington's hair detail, the sharpness of the eagle's feathers, and overall surface wear. These small details make a big difference in grading. Avoid cleaning coins, as cleaning can permanently reduce both value and collector interest. Even a shiny coin can become less desirable if it shows signs of polishing or chemical cleaning. It is also a good idea to store coins in protective holders to prevent scratches and environmental damage over time. If you believe you have a high-grade or unusual example, consider professional grading, as certification can improve both market value and buyer confidence. Finally, always stay realistic about rarity. The 1968 quarter is a common circulation coin, so the real value lies in condition and special varieties, not the date alone. The 1968 Washington quarter without a mint mark is a perfect example of how everyday coins can still hold collector interest. While it is not rare in general circulation, it remains an important part of the post-silver era of U.S. coinage and the long-running legacy of the Washington quarter honoring George Washington. In very fine condition, it represents history more than high value, but in higher grades or with rare errors, it can still surprise collectors in the auction market. So next time you come across a 1968 quarter, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small but meaningful piece of American coin history. Next up today, we're taking a close look at a modern but still highly collectible coin, the 1996 Washington quarter with the P Mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint. At first glance, it might look like everyday pocket change, but when examined in detail, especially in very fine condition, this coin becomes an interesting piece for collectors who study modern U.S. coinage and its subtle variations in value and demand. In this video, we'll explore its history, design, rarity factors, market performance, and what makes certain examples more desirable in today's auction world. The Washington quarter has been one of the most recognized coins in American history since its introduction in 1932, honoring George Washington. By 1996, the series was still going strong as part of the modern copper-nickel-clad era, long after the United States had removed silver from circulating quarters in the 1960s. The 1996 issue was struck at multiple U.S. mint facilities, including Philadelphia, which uses the P Mint mark. These coins were produced in massive quantities for everyday circulation across the United States. Because of this high mintage, most people assume the coin has no collector value, but that is not entirely true when condition, preservation, and demand are considered together. The 1996 Washington quarter follows the classic design created by John Flanagan. On the obverse, we see George Washington's left-facing portrait, with Liberty above and In God We Trust to the left. The date 1996 appears below, along with the small P Mint mark indicating it was struck in Philadelphia. On the reverse, the design features a bold eagle with spread wings, holding arrows, and an olive branch. The inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar surround the eagle, along with the motto E pluribus unum. Even in very fine condition, collectors often look closely at the sharpness of the eagle's feathered details and Washington's hairlines, which can reveal how much the coin circulated. Since this coin is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, it does not contain silver. However, its appeal comes from strike quality, preservation level, and collector interest in building complete year sets of Washington quarters. In terms of mintage, the 1996 P Washington quarter is not rare in absolute numbers. Millions were produced for circulation, meaning most examples are easy to find. However, true rarity in modern coins often comes from condition scarcity rather than production numbers. Coins in very fine condition are already showing moderate circulation wear, meaning many of the finer details are softened. Finding a 1996 P quarter that still retains strong definition in Washington's hair and the eagle's wing structure can make it more attractive to collectors building high-quality sets. Collector demand is driven largely by registry set builders and enthusiasts who seek uniform, well-matched coins. Even common date quarters like this can gain attention when they appear with strong eye appeal, original luster remnants, or unusual toning. In today's coin market, a standard circulated 1996 P Washington quarter in very fine condition typically holds a modest value. Most examples trade close to face value or slightly above, often ranging from about $545,000 in normal. However, coins with better eye appeal, minimal wear, or attractive toning can sometimes reach $2 to $5 in collector transactions. If a coin is graded higher than very fine, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, the value can increase more noticeably, especially in certified holders. At auction, top-quality examples from this year in pristine condition can attract stronger bidding, but it is important to understand that the 1996 P quarter becomes valuable mainly through condition rarity rather than date rarity. For collectors interested in modern Washington quarters, the key focus should always be on condition and preservation. Even though the 1996 P is common, selecting coins with sharp details and minimal wear can make a noticeable difference in long-term collection quality. Always avoid cleaning coins, as cleaning can permanently reduce collector value even for modern issues. Instead, store them in protective holders or albums designed for long-term preservation. If you are building a full Washington quarter set, try to upgrade coins gradually by comparing multiple examples of the same date until you find the sharpest strike and best surface quality. Professional grading can also help confirm condition if you believe you have an exceptional specimen. The 1996 Washington quarter with the P mint mark may not be a rare coin in terms of production, but it still plays an important role in modern U.S. coin collecting. As part of the long-running Washington quarter, it represents a continuing legacy that began with George Washington and remains active in everyday circulation across the United States. While its market value in very fine condition is modest, its real importance lies in collector demand, set completion, and preservation quality. For many numismatists, even common coins like this become meaningful when studied closely and preserved carefully. So the next time you come across a 1996 P quarter, take a second look. You might just be holding a clean, collectible example worth adding to your collection. Next up, the 1979 Washington quarter with a D mint mark might catch your attention. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 25-cent coin, but in the world of numismatics, even common-looking coins can carry hidden value. Especially in very fine condition, this coin becomes an interesting piece for collectors who focus on detail, history, and subtle market demand. Today, we are going to explore everything about the 1979 D Washington quarter, its background, design, rarity, and real auction value in dollars. The Washington quarter has been one of the most iconic coin designs in the United States since it was first introduced in 1932. It was created to honor George Washington, marking the 200th anniversary of his birth. By 1979, the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for decades, but it was still part of the modern copper-nickel-clad era that began in the mid-1960s. The 1979 edition was struck at multiple mints, including the Denver Mint, which is identified by the D mint mark. These coins were produced in massive quantities to meet everyday circulation needs, meaning most were heavily used and not preserved in high condition. The 1979 D Washington quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse. The inscriptions include Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1979. The design remains consistent with earlier Washington quarters, maintaining its traditional and historic appearance. On the reverse side, the coin displays a powerful image of a bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. This symbolizes both military strength and peace. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and Quarter Dollar complete the design. The D Mint mark, located on the obverse near Washington's neck, confirms it was minted in Denver. Although the design itself is not rare, what makes certain examples special is their preservation state and any unique minting characteristics such as strong strike quality, luster, or minor mint errors. The 1979 D quarter is not rare in terms of mintage, as millions were produced. However, true rarity in coin collecting is not always about numbers, it is about condition and survival rate. Most of these coins entered circulation and experienced heavy wear over time. Finding a 1979 D quarter in very fine condition means the coin still retains clear design details, especially in Washington's hair and the eagle's feather patterns. While this grade is not considered high-end mint state, it is still desirable for collectors who build complete sets or focus on well-preserved circulated coins. Collector demand is also influenced by the popularity of the Washington Quarter series itself. Because it is one of the longest-running coin designs in American history, many collectors actively seek examples from different years and mints to complete their collections. In today's coin market, a 1979 D Washington quarter in very fine condition typically holds a modest value above its face value. Most examples sell in the range of about $670,000 depending on eye appeal and market demand. However, coins that are unusually well struck, have attractive toning, or show better than average preservation can sometimes sell for slightly higher prices, especially in collector-focused sales or online auctions. While it is not considered a high-value rare coin, it remains a steady and collectible piece for those building Washington quarter sets. Coins in higher grades, such as extremely fine or mint state, can increase significantly in value, but the very fine category remains more accessible and commonly traded among collectors. If you are collecting 1979 D Washington quarters, the first step is careful examination. Look closely at Washington's portrait for sharpness and the hair details, and check the eagle on the reverse for feather clarity. These small details help determine the coin's grade. Avoid cleaning coins, as cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector value. Instead, store coins in protective holders or albums designed for long-term preservation. It is also helpful to compare your coin with professionally graded examples so you can better understand its condition. If you believe you have a particularly well-preserved or unusual specimen, consider sending it to a grading service for authentication and grading, which can improve its market appeal. The 1979 D Washington quarter may not be a rare coin in the traditional sense, but it represents an important part of modern U.S. coinage history. As part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, it continues to attract collectors who appreciate historical continuity and condition-based value. Even in very fine condition, this coin carries more than just face value, it carries history, design legacy, and steady collector interest. So next time you come across a 1979 D quarter, take a closer look. It might just be a small but meaningful addition to your collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more rare coin insights and hidden value discoveries from everyday pocket change.